लेट 1 मिनट में ही लेट।
कैंपस खुले एक बार बस।
ये तुम्हारा
लिंक
जो भी बोलोगे अब यूट्यूब पे जाएगा तो।
लिंक भेज दो मेरे को भी यूट्यूब का।
Hello everyone. Hello everyone.
आर वी लाइव?
Yes, we are live. Hello everyone. Welcome to the freshers orientation for Coding Club for the session 2020 to 21. Uh,
ओके, वी शैल स्टार्ट।
yeah, okay. Atisha, slide.
ओके, यस।
Okay, so first of all, like everybody has joined the session because they're interested in what the coding club does or why coding. That is the question that must be on everybody's minds, right? So coding basically helps us in preparing for problem solving. It improves our problem solving areas of the brain, and also like the activities that we do in club uh, develop us in various sectors. Like we learn about collaboration, we learn about working in teams, we learn about completing a set of tasks within a certain time frame, and a lot of things. So when the question why coding comes, that can't be answered in a single sentence, but maybe, at least maybe, in a whole orientation session. That is our main objective. So this is a funny meme here. Like, okay. So everybody must know that Whitehead Junior is a very up and coming thing in today's world. Let's hope that this is not in your anyone's minds, but yeah, this is what we aim. So about us, well, there are a lot of modules that we try to work in. It comes in competitive coding. We also develop apps, websites, game development. There are also networks and security, ethical hacking. We also have our design team, very own design team. But what like in means what the coding club does is it's a club for the whole campus. So it conducts lectures, workshops, and hackathons so that the whole campus can participate in this stuff. There are also projects, and we provide mentorships as and when it's required. So I am Ritvik Ganguly. I am the secretary, and now I'll hand over to the uh, team members for going ahead with the various modules. Varinya, I'll hand over to you for the competitive programming part.
Okay, so this is Varine Tiwari from Mechanical Department. Here we'll start. Okay, so moving on to club modules. The first and one of the most important ones we'll see shortly was that. Atisha, please move on to the competitive side. Okay. It's competitive programming, or we'll see use CP for convenience. Next slide. Atisha, next slide. Okay, थोड़ा back करना back. Okay, so the basic and foremost question, what is CP? Quite obvious from the name that it will be related to individual competing over their programming skills. Generally, it involves solving logical and mathematical problems by formulating efficient algorithms or code on general logic behind the problem statement. Next slide. Now, the answer to the awaited question, why is it important? But we can say not only important but also necessary. This meme must have given a slight idea answer to the question. The answer behind why we all choose and work hard for IITs, obviously, specifically IT jobs. Next slide. So All of the job related to IT sector, be it in software development or related to data science or anything, every company have rounds initially based on competitives for shortlisting candidates. Now, where do we participate in competitive programming contest? These are like your playgrounds where you practice and show off your programming skills. Mostly, they are arranged online by several companies and organizations. Next slide. These are some of the most prestigious coding competitions like ICPC, CodeGem arranged by Google, Hacker Cup by Facebook. These are arranged on international level, and also for practice, you have some website that held competition for on regular basis like CodeShip and Code Forces, where you can enhance your skills. Now the key to competitive programming. You all must have got the idea to not be like these guys, but instead, next slide, next slide, Atisha, be like this guy and practice consistently. Next slide. Now, what we do as part of the club in competitive programming module, we host lecture series, guest lectures, next, and arrange contests for all campus janta and things like these. This is the game of codes we held in 2019, which was very great. And that was it for competitive programming from my side. And I hope you all get a slight idea about it. Now, moving on, next slide.
Gitanjit, are you there? Gitanjit? Okay. So I am showing the question. Gitanjit, are you connected?
So we have arranged some questions in middle of the session to keep it interactive. Here is the first question. You, on answering right, you will get some goodies. We'll know afterwards. So about submitting the answers, we'll post a story on the Coding Club Instagram page. There you have to answer it. So we'll take 5 minute gap for you to solve, and then you have to submit the answer at the Instagram page.
So we'll give you 2 more minutes to solve the question, then we'll move on to the next module.
To post your question answer, please go to our Instagram page and post your answer there.
And you'll also get goodies if you say the correct answer first. So try to be competitive.
Okay, so time's up. We haven't got any correct answers yet. So we'll now show the solution.
Varina, can I show?
Yes, Sean. गीतांजलि और स्वप्निल,
Gitanjit,
if
are
you
you
need
there?
to explain.
Okay, Gitanjit has lost his connection. We can move on.
Okay, continue to the next slide. Wait,
So the
someone
answer
has,
was different
wait,
here.
Swapnil, someone just answered the correct answer. It's Vedant. Someone just noted. We'll contact him later. Good, Vedant, you have got the right answer. Okay, now Swapnil, you can start.
I'm going to start, right?
Anmol,
Am I
go on.
audible?
Yes, Anmol.
Okay, then. Let's start with machine learning, right? Everyone wants to build their own Javas. Next slide, please. So I thoroughly believe in learning through memes, and here's my attempt at introduction to machine learning through memes. So why should one learn machine learning? Duh, it's one of the most upcoming fields. So I don't think I need to answer this. So moving on to next slide. I know what everyone thinks about ML and AI. Uh, Everyone thinks that it's something that's going to take over the world. But the truth is, next slide, please. It's just a combination of mathematics and algorithm. So I'm going to elaborate more on this moving forward. Next slide, please. What is machine learning? So here's a technical definition by Wikipedia. You can skip this, and the reality is again, it's just glorified statistics. So what do I mean by this? Machine learning here is the previous slide, please. So machine learning here is an attempt of modeling the world through statistics, and it's a way in which we take previous data and we try to generalize it to new variables. So what do I mean by this? It's a way where we extract patterns from the data. Say I have 5 dog pictures and 7 cat pictures, and I feed it through a machine learning algorithm. What will that machine learning algorithm do is it will try to find patterns in those pictures, so that whenever now I feed a different dog image, which might be of different color, size, and pattern, but it will have some crucial pattern which the machine learning algorithm would have identified, and through which it would be able to classify that picture as dog rather than cat. So it's about finding patterns in data, and you have various mathematical algorithms for this, and as you dive more you will learn more about it. So next slide. So here I will give an intro to a few of the basic things that you need to know before you dive into machine learning. One being, you need to know a good amount of mathematics, linear algebra, multivariable calculus, probability, and coding. You need to know a language and basic data structures and algorithms. But this might seem a lot. Next please. Next slide, please. But you don't have to worry about it, because most of the heavy lifting, mathematical heavy lifting and mathematics required has been abstracted away through different libraries that's available, like say different libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch. So if you really want to start, you can start with just no background in mathematics, and as you go up and as you learn more about machine learning and stuff, and you will have different mathematical courses too in your coming semester, so you'll be able to learn them in more depth. But if you initially want to start, you don't really need to have that good mathematical background. You can just import libraries, and they will do the heavy lifting for you. So next slide. This slide I included because I feel many times media interchange the world difference between AI and ML and DL. So I wanted to make it crystal clear that what is the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, these buzzwords that you hear. So artificial intelligence has a very broad definition. Anything, any system that can mimic human behavior or that can replace human intelligence will act as artificial intelligence system. So there are many ways to realize artificial intelligence. One of the ways is machine learning. Now, what exactly machine learning is? It's learning through data. So in artificial intelligence, you might have many ways of applying artificial intelligence, way of substituting human intelligence. One of the ways is looking at previous data, finding patterns in them, and applying that. So that is machine learning. So machine learning is one of the ways to apply artificial intelligence, and it's one of the subset of artificial intelligence, as you say. And deep learning is another subset within machine learning, which started initially as a model of replicating our brains through neurons and stuff. But it has become a very complex topic as of now. Like, and if you learn more about it, it's you can learn more about it if you join our club. So that's it. So what if I have to give an example between machine learning and artificial intelligence? It would be the chess algorithms that used to work earlier. So that didn't require any data. Those were algorithms. Those were purely algorithms that were outside the scope of machine learning. But nowadays, machine learning has become so worldwide that you can read this meme and like you will get the idea that if it's written in code and you're trying to implement AI, it's probably machine learning. So next slide, please. Next slide. So what do we do as a club? So we conduct many courses. One of the courses that we did last summer itself was Fast Track to ML. It was a 2 months course, and we did end to end through machine learning, deep learning, and many other stuff. We conduct many competition, and we got many machine learning projects, and conduct hackathons and webinars. Those are standard things. So going forward, what are our future plans? So one of our future plans is to build an RL agent, that is a reinforcement learning agents, to play video games. You might have seen on YouTube many AI agents who are able to play Pong and Mario and all. So we have a plan of implementing that, and there are other technical stuff that you might get into if you get into the club. So going forward, here is one of the interesting applications of AI, or one of the projects that we did. It's a style transfer algorithm. So what it does is it takes a base picture and it takes a second picture and it tries to transfer that style onto that picture. And here one of the fantastic things is this style is defined mathematically. So this is kind of a mathematical implementation. You can take a mathematical explanation of art, right? So how could you apply and do art through mathematics? So these are few of coordinators. Varenia, you heard him in CP talk. Here we have Anshul, who will take the game development talk, the second picture. Next slide, please. So again, more examples of these generative networks. So we have Gitanjit and we have Ritik Bhaiya, Secretary of Coding Club down. So that's it from my side. Excited to see you all. I'll hand over to Anshul now for the game development module.
We will pause for 2 minutes as the slides are getting cut in the stream. We'll try to change it. Atish, please switch to the PowerPoint.
Please check, Varinya. Please check. I am showing it to PowerPoint.
Okay, but just a sec. Yeah, it's
It's
fine. Yeah,
looking
it's fine.
fine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
Now
fine.
visible.
it's fine.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm switching to game
Yes.
development.
So should I do it again? Like, what?
No, Ed, no, it's all right. We'll move to game development.
So hello everyone. My name is. Am I audible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you. So my name is Anshul Kumar, and I am the game development head of Coding Club ITG. So first, I want to ask you, what do you mean by games, right? Uh, we all know what games is, but what do you feel from playing games? So what we really feel is the entertainment. It is like a stress buster for us, right? And it makes us feel it makes us feel like we are going to the another world which doesn't have any complications of life, and you can do anything, literally anything you want. Okay, so wait, uh, last slide only. So what you can do with game development is you can play God, right? You can create a whole new world where the physics is based on you, based on how you describe it, how you put games sounds in it, how you make characters in it. So you can literally play God for the time being, right? And there's a nice quote here: you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. So the essence behind is that ki, first you need to know how to make games, right? And then you have to make it better than anybody else in this field, so that you can go to newer heights like anybody, like most of the famous persons. Next slide. So why game development? So next slide. Because see, anybody who comes in this field has pure love for playing games. They have played games from childhood. They were always fascinated कि यार गेम कैसे बनता है. It is like a true love कि कैसे बनाए हम गेम, कैसे ये लोग इतना ब्यूटीफुल वर्ल्ड बनाता है, and this and that. So, next slide. So one more important reason many people go in game development is the money factor. So we have got uh, two fields like um, film industry, and this is the music industry. So the revenue of the whole gaming industry is twice as compared to the combined revenue of the film industry and the voice industry. So you can see ki if you take two Shakiras and two Avengers, still it won't be as big as a big game, right? Here I have made an analogy. Like in the first opening 3 days, GTA 5 earned around $1 billion, and the most hit movie of all time, Avengers Endgame, earned around 850 million only. It is $150 million less than GTA 5. So you can understand how much how much money this industry has got. Next slide. And you also know, पैसा तो पैसा है तो पैसा ही होगा. भाई पैसा है तो क्या क्या कुछ नहीं हो सकता. और जब तुम्हारे पास पैसा होगा तो दुनिया वाले भी पूछेंगे कि भाई तू कैसा है, राइट? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. So another thing is that we have got very less competition in India. So it has got some advantages and some disadvantages also. So the advantages are like there is currently no big company present in India. So you can literally open a company in this field, and you will also get very less competition. So you have got a very good opportunity right now that you can open a startup and you can build games from it, and you can grow bigger and bigger day by day. And also the current Indian market is full of youth. There are around 85 million smartphone users in India alone. So you can think of the possibilities this industry has. It has got no big companies in India. It has got a large potential, and you can be the next big thing in this industry. And also there are a lot of content in India from which you can explore. It's not like our country is so small, we have not got any cultures. We have got a lot of cultures. We have got Ramayana, Mahabharat. We have got Uri, Surgical Strike. We have got Independence. We have got so much of content from which we can make games, and we don't have to explore a lot also. It just we have to find that a particular content, and we can think of the game design, and we can make a game, and we can be a and Indians are very sentimental about they're very patriotic. So if you make a game, if you make a game on Surgical Strike, they will automatically come and play your game. And the sixth point is trends show that gaming is on the rise, and eventually it will continue to rise because see, uh, what happened in this pandemic? The film industry got, it was on the downhill. Same with music industry. Almost major industries were on the downhill. लेकिन games like PUBG, online multiplayer games, they were going up because the more people were staying in India, the more people were staying in India, the more people were staying in homes, the more they were playing games. And this thing is, this thing proves that game development can be the next big thing because the more and more we are going to automation, it proves that this is the we can have more time to play games, but it has got some disadvantages also, like there are no big company, so obviously we will have less jobs, right? There are no company coming for campus recruitments, so this is also a not good point. And then there are the salary of game developers are quite low. In India, there is very salary is very low. So you have to look at that factor because if you go in other fields, you might get 18-20 lakhs if you're good at it. But in game development, you might get around 10 to 12 lakhs. So it is a you might get, if you are money oriented, then it might be a downhill for you. Then the other thing is this field is so diverse that you have to work hard compared to other fields because it's not only about coding. We have got other fields inside it. Next slide. No, no. But see, it is exciting, risky. बट लाला रिस्क है तो इश्क है. अब तुम रिस्क नहीं लोगे तो तुम अगर तुम many people say about being in the top 1%. It's not only about posting in on Facebook that I want to be at the top 1%. If you want to be at the top 1%, you have to choose the field which is risky, and you need to be very good at it, and you need to go in the top 1%. That's how you go at the top 1%, not by following the herd. Ki everybody is doing competitive programming, so I will also do competitive programming. Do what you love, follow your passion, and you will eventually become the next big thing. Next slide. And there are many different fields in game development. It's not only about coding. It is in the coding lab, but it has got a lot of variety of fields. Next slide. So we have got modeling. We model characters with the help of variety of softwares like Maya, ZBrush, 3ds Max, Blender. We also do animations in this field. We also do sound design. We also do, and coding is already there. Coding is also a very important part. And we also have voice acting, cinematography, story writing, and a lot of various fields. And when you combine all of these fields, which all of them are equally important, it's not that if you know coding, your game will be good. If you know modeling, your game will be good. You have to have the complete package. You have to build a team which has got good modelers, good animators, good sound designers, good coders, good voice actors, good cinematographers. Then your game becomes very good. And this combination makes game development a bit difficult because you have to find a good team, but it is also very interesting. And if you find a very good team, then uh, 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 trust me, you won't. Uh, Next slide. So what we did in this past semester is that we successfully conducted 2 to 3 workshops. We also made few games, a few projects, few games using Unity engine, and we also participated in game jams. And this screenshot. Uh, this screenshot is about a game which one of our club members, Swapnil, who is also will also speak on open source, he has made. It is called Cricket Carnival, and it has got around. It is a one online one versus one game on Play Store, and it has got around 2,500 plus downloads and 300 plus daily active players worldwide. I will also send the link on the chat or anybody else can send the link on the chat. We will send it later, so you can download the game and play. It's very addicting. I have played it, and it's very addicting. Next slide. So these are the posters of workshop that we conducted and the game jam. We are also currently participating in a game jam, and we are making a game. I hope it goes well. Next slide. And what are our future plans? So we are planning to have one project for each semester, which will basically be a clone, like a clone of um, like PUBG, with the famous games like clone of PUBG and other game which will decide later, and we'll also have an annual game which will be truly based on our ideas, and we will develop the games, and the pipeline of the games will be most of the companies do. We'll follow the same pattern like the big companies in the US do. We will try to make the next big thing from our college only, so we don't have to worry about money, because money is not everything. And the second thing is we'll regularly conduct talks from industry experts in our field, and we'll also hold regular workshops, and we'll provide you with resources to learn from, and we will help you guys in each and every step, so that you don't feel like trapped. You can always contact us, and we will help you as much as we can. And we'll also talk about programming to game design to sounds and everything related to that. And we will also discuss game development, that includes seeing how the entire games are made by other companies also. Most of the permanent features of the game, what was the main catchy thing of this game, right? And also we'll play games because this is the game development, so we'll eventually play games only. Okay, next slide. So this is the thing. I hope you liked my presentation, and I hope you assemble with me, and we hope that we can make the next big theme on this game. In next year, we make most of the beautiful games in our country, and I hope you all guys join me in this venture. So thank you, and I will head it over to Arpita and Swapnil.
Hello, people. I'm Arpita. Is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible. Carry on.
Yeah. So I'll be talking about the module web development. Atisha, next slide. Yeah. So since in a single day we go through a lot of websites, some of you might have thought of like, how do we make such cool pieces, and who are the somewhat geeky people behind them? Well, the art of making those websites comes under web development, and the artists are the devs or the developers. Web development consists of lots of stuff with all the latest tools and technologies you need to learn in the process for not just building but maintaining them as well. Next slide, please. Atisha. Yeah, so you can see like 3 layers of the web design, like the markup language, HTML we use for it. For styling, we need to use CSS, and then there's JavaScript. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now WebD has two completely different parts, front end and back end. Everything that is visible to you on opening a web page consists of a piece of code, HTML file, which was sent and interpreted by the browser with, say, perfect styling, which is the CSS part, proper text, and other responsive stuff. All of these together consist of the front end part. Next, we'll come to backend. This part is like quite tempting to many. It is basically the code which is running to generate those lines, data, and many other stuff which you can't see anything as a user. The coding can be done in various languages like Python, PHP, Ruby, and also JavaScript. We'll be also coming to frameworks. Next slide. Yeah. Okay. So coming to frameworks, there will be many like Django, Node.js, etc. Now both the front end and the back end together combined is known as full stack development. The one who learns both of them properly is the full stack web developer. There's an example actually to understand this. Suppose the search bar on Google is the front end and the algorithm that searches for the results on the back side is the back end part. Okay, so these are the like type of careers like Adisha, the last slide. Yeah. So you can read this like every like Google, Facebook, Amazon, everything once started from a single web page. So that is how like if someone is going into a software development role later, he needs to know this thing quite well and needs to be very good with it. Next, I will say coming to what do we people at the club do for web development. We mostly hold month-long courses on WebD where you can start with. Then there are also various WebD hackathons. Also, there will be certain guided projects open for all the campus people to take up and complete it in a single sem. We'll also be holding lectures and lot of workshops on it. Now, I mean, these are the posters for all the competitions and hackathons we had previously. And next, I would like to give to Swapnil. He'll be talking about Apti.
Hi, am I audible? Atisha?
Yeah, you're audible.
Cool. So hi guys, I am Swapnil. So now I'll be taking over to speak on two of my favorite topics. The first one is app development, and after that I'll speak about open source. So as Arpita has already told you guys about the web development stuff, let me just cover the app development part first. So yeah, so the first question is, let's start with the basics. What is app development? So, as the name suggests, it is simply the field in which we develop apps or applications for mobile operating systems like Android and iOS. So, the next question that comes to mind is, why should we pursue app development, say, instead of taking other fields like web development? So, the simple reason is that though web development is quite important and it also has its necessary uses, but in the recent years, app development has overshadowed web development. Why is that? So, actually, the first point is, as you all may know, people are growing more and more addicted to their mobile phones. We are spending more and more hours with our eyes glued on the mobile screens. So I don't know if it's for the better or the worse, but as an app developer, it's certainly for the better. So yeah, the next point is the mobile phones are also becoming more and more powerful day by day with each year. So they are becoming like mini computers. Basically, they are reducing the use of laptops and desktops as we keep on adding more and more functionalities into the mobile phones. Like as you may all know, at the very first mobile phones, they were only capable of making phone calls and sending SMS. And just now, look at your phone. It can do a lot of things, say shopping, gaming, checking out your social media, and whatnot. So yeah, these were the major reasons. So the market for app development is growing. So now you may understand why it is the buzz of recent times, this app development. So there are certain pros and cons regarding everything. So let me go over them for the field of app development. I'll first cover the pros. So the most important point, according to me, is why you should pursue app development is that you get to work with the latest technology. As app development is an ever-evolving field, each month or year you witness new inventions like in the field of app development, say Internet of Things, augmented reality, cloud apps, wearable apps, virtual reality. All these things you can make use of them and make amazing apps. So the second big point is that a lot less people actually pursue app development instead of web development. Why is that so? I'll get back to that later. But as a lot less people pursue app development, there's this situation of more demand and less supply in the market. That results in the market of app development growing even further as a developer. So on an average, you can expect higher pay, and by the way, it's still increasing than if you pursue other development fields like web development. So these were the basic pros which I feel are related to this field. Now let me go over some of the cons. So I don't necessarily see them as disadvantages, but some of the people may feel so. That's why I've put in these points. So the first point is the disadvantage, that it is clearly more complicated than developing, say, a website. It has a steep learning curve. So let me just explain what I mean by that. I'm sure some of you might have some programming language of, say, HTML and CSS. You must have learned them in the school days maybe. So you may know that making a Hello World app is quite simple in those languages. All you need to write is a head block and a body block, and yeah, just write Hello World in the between, and you are done. But for app development, actually, you have to set up a lot of things on your computer, and then you'll have to write more than a few lines of code actually to just even print a simple message such as "Hello World" onto the screen. So yeah, it's definitely more challenging. But according to me, it just adds to the fun of it. So yeah, the second point which people feel may not be too good about app development is that we need to stay up to date regularly. So as I had mentioned earlier, it is an ever evolving field. So it witnesses a lot of development each month or year. So like the current Android version is Android 11, and on an average, Google releases a new Android version every about 6 months or at most an year. So you'll need to keep evolving with time. The Android Studio also, it also keeps changing every 2 or 3 months. Some features of it actually. So yeah, you just need to keep your eyes open and just evolve with the changes. So that's not necessarily a bad point, but yeah, I just included it as some of the people might feel. The last point, which again I don't feel is a disadvantage, is that your projects on app development are a bit harder to deploy. What I mean by that is, say, if you make a simple website, if you research properly, you can find a lot of domains on the web, and other websites like GitHub uh, just Yeah, so where was I? The difficult to deploy part. So the websites are typically very easy to deploy on the internet, on the domains and other websites as well. But for deploying app, you actually need to follow a lot of formalities, guidelines, and other things which are required by, say, Google if you want to launch your app into the Play Store. So it takes a lot of work actually. It's not an easy task, I'm telling you. But according to my personal experience, as Anshul had shown you the game I had released onto the Play Store, it is a bit time consuming and a bit hard as well. But in the end, when it's all said and done, it's really worth it. You feel very nice about it, delighted about it, and it also adds authenticity to your project, because these big domains like Google Play Store, they are very reliable to the as well. So yeah, those were the cons. So Atisha, next slide please. So I'll just give a brief overview of what different fields are there in the app development domain. So basically, you can build three types of apps. There are majorly three types of apps you can build. The first one are native apps. Now, what do we mean by native apps? Native apps are those apps. Say, if you are working on an Android app, you will write code for an Android app, and you will deploy it on Android only. It will not work on iOS. Similarly, if you work on an iOS app, it will work on iOS only and not Android. So it has some pros as well. These are the fastest kind of apps. So if you want to develop for Android, you'll need Java and Kotlin. And for iOS, you may need an Apple device first, and then you'll need Swift and Objective-C. So next slide, please, Atisha. Yeah, so these are the hybrid apps. So actually, these are gaining quite the momentum in recent times. So the biggest plus point of these is you'll only need to write code once. Just write the code once, and then you'll be able to run your app on both Android and iOS devices. Sure, it has its setbacks too, like it's a little slower, just marginally slower, not by a lot, and it also has quite less flexibility in terms of designing the app. So yeah, the popular ones currently software which are used for hybrid app development are Flutter by it is released by Google, and React Native, it is released by I think Facebook, and Xamarin, I think it was by Microsoft. So next one, Atisha. Um, So web apps are more or less the same type of things as the web development stuff. So using web apps, you can actually control how your web pages will appear on different screens. Like you normally develop web pages only for laptops and desktops, but by using web apps, you can control the little intricacies of how your web page will appear on small screens like smartphones, on tablets, even on smart TVs as well. So yeah, these were the three types of app development. So this was just a basic overview. So just take up any one of these and get started. Now I think we'll have a question. Yeah.
Since Gitanjit is connected with us again, first we will explain the first solution for the first question, those who didn't get it. Atisha, please head to the first question. Gitanjit, I'll head over to you.
Yeah, so am I audible, Abhishek?
Yes, you're audible.
Could anyone say am I audible? Yeah, yeah. So, due to some connection issues, I wasn't able to like explain the solution of the previous question. So, what we had to do in this question was to first notice how the ant is going to move. So, what will happen on the first day is it will actually go through the first like n hours in the first day and reach the division 1. After that, what happens is its speed is proportional to the difference between the next division and the current division, and as well. So if you like properly write these things down, then you can notice that the time which will be required for the rest of the journey of the ant, like after the first day, it is basically the sum of the factors of the number, like all the factors which are not the number itself. So this is since we have now got this, it is a one-liner question in which this has to satisfy the property of a special kind of number called perfect numbers. So there are many perfect numbers, I think infinite possibilities, but the smallest one is 6, and the next, since I have asked for 2-digit smallest number, it is 28. You can see it's 28 is equal to 14 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. So that was this question.
Okay, now to the second question. Aditya, please switch. We'll be giving 5 minutes to you all, and you have to answer only on the story stickers. No DMs. Just only sticker responses will be considered. Who answered first?
Yeah, okay. So I will just read out the question as well, since I couldn't the last time. So there are 26 people, and one of them is the host. So there are 25 guests plus the host who are seated around a circular table. The host is in a good mood here, so she has placed a gold coin in front of her, announcing that one of the guests will be taking the coin home. But they have to follow some rules, which are that whoever has the coin, starting with the host, will flip it If it's heads, they will pass to the person to the left of them, and if it comes up tails, then they will pass it to the person to the right of them. This continues until everyone has held a coin at least once. Like at this point, the person who holds the coin, of course, for the first time gets the coin. That person will be the winner, and the last person to hold the coin for the first time, will win the coin. So it means that the other people might get the coin more than once, but the one person who's like the last person who gets the coin for the first time, he will be the winner. So there is a guest who sits immediately to the right of the host. So what is his probability of winning the coin? Just reply in fractional form.
Okay, so we have got the right answer. So you don't need to solve it now later. It is, I'll disclose the name later. Gitanjit, you will head over to the solution.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this question was like even more intuitive than the last one. So, like the 26th or 25, the numbers were just for show, like have been a 1 by m or 1 by n question as well. So, what happens actually is that all the guests, except definitely the host, because she held the coin first, so she cannot win the coin. So every other host has same probability of winning the coin. It might seem like a little unbelievable that how can the person just to the right of the guest have the same as someone who was very far away from the guest, since like he will get the coin first. But you need to think in the broader sense, like in the infinite level sense. This kind of thinking will be very useful for you guys when you will approach competitive coding as well. This is like you have to have a recursive sort of thinking. So the solution is pretty detailed, I guess. I will read it out. Why the probability is same for everyone. Fix a person M other than the host, definitely. Then R be the guest to M's right and L be the guest to her left. What has to happen for M to be selected? Either the coin travels first to R without visiting L or M, and then travels all the way around the circle from R to L without visiting M, or it travels first to L without visiting R or M, and then travels all the way around the circle from L to R without visiting M. Let P be the probability that the coin travels from R to L without visiting M. The key point of the proof is that by symmetry, P is also the probability that the coin travels from L to R without visiting M, and also by symmetry, P is independent of the choice of M. So, Atisha, next slide. Yeah, so now the probability that M is selected is P, sum of the probability that the coin's part takes it to R before L and M, and the probability that the coin visits L before R and M. I think you guys can even like read the rest of the solution. It might be obvious by now why all the probabilities are same. So, like, so the answer definitely is 1 by 25. So it's a sum of probabilities P of 25 people was 1, 25 P equal to 1, and my answer is 1 by 25. Alright, that's it.
Hi. Hi. So I think now let's move over to open source development. Yeah. So just pay attention to this module because you may not know about this in your school days or earlier as well. So, so the first question, the most basic question is, what is open source? So if I just read out the definition of open source, so it just reads that open source software is code that is designed to be publicly available. Anyone can see it, anyone can modify it, and anyone can distribute the code as they see fit. So open source software is developed in a decentralized and collaborative way. It relies on peer review and community production. Actually, open source software is often cheaper, it is more flexible, and it has longer, more longevity because it is developed by communities rather than a single author or a company. So, first of all, I would like to ask you guys that based on this definition, do you think that open sourcing your code is a good idea? Tell me honestly. Like, do you think that making your code publicly available for everyone to see, won't it prove disastrous at some point? Like, won't your rival company simply go through your code and just use it? Won't other people just steal your code? Let me ask you a question. Would you yourself have disclosed your JEE Advanced answers to others in the middle of the exam? Like, it's kind of the same thing. So I don't think anyone would have done that. So, so do you think any company would be foolish enough to really make its code public? So Atisha, just go over to the next slide. So yeah, contrary to what you may believe, actually a lot of companies go to the open source path. So there are a couple of reasons for that. Before explaining them, I'll just ask you guys, can you identify some of the logos that are on the screen right now? I'll just wait for a minute or two because I think there's a lag between the YouTube live stream and our air meet session. So just name any logo that you identify. It will be fun. Blender, right? Yeah, Blender is there. VLC Media Player, exactly. Yeah, Raspberry, cool, cool, cool. Oracle, Thundermill, the Firefox Thundermill. Yeah, WordPress, VLC, Ubuntu, cool. Oracle VirtualBox, right? Audacity is also there. Wikipedia, of course. PHP. Yeah, Scratch as well. Kudos for mentioning that. jQuery, it's written over there. Cool. Eclipse also cool. So yeah, it was fun, guys. So you know quite a lot of logos from around here. So Atisha, just go over the next slide. So there's actually this one more famous example of an open source software. Now you may recognize that this is the logo of Google Chrome. Google Chrome in itself is not open source, but Google has a product similar to Google Chrome, which is open source. Can you tell its name? Again, I'll just wait for a minute or two because of the lag. Great, great, great. A lot of you know about this. Really good. So yeah, the Atisha, go to the next slide. So the open source project of Google is Google Chromium. It's similar to Google Chrome, but it's open source and you can make changes on it. So yeah, as I was speaking earlier, so why do companies make their code open source? Like really, the most obvious thing is won't others steal your code? So I'll just go briefly over some of the points why it really may not be a big deal to put your code out on the public. So the first point is there are licenses. Like it's not that the code is entirely free. There are the codes are bound by licenses. Some of the licenses are Apache open source license, GNU license, MIT, BSD clauses. So like there are certain softwares for detecting plagiarism. This can very fast detect that if some other user has blatantly stolen your code. So you need not worry about that. The second point is Linus's law. Does anyone know about Linus's law? So, what I think is a lot of you may not know about the law, so I'll just explain it to you. Basically, it just means that given enough eyeballs, the bugs in any application will be very minor at best. So, not only will the bugs be detected faster, but any unlawful copying of the code will also be detected by a lot more people. If your code is publicly available, the people will side with you because your code was available on the net from the start, so they'll support you. And yeah, it can act as an added security for your code. And the last point is that uh, contrary to what you may believe at the particular moment, coding itself is not such a big deal. So like the for the big companies, it is the original idea which matters the most. So maybe now you may find it challenging to implement even simple features and build even the most basic applications. But many years down the line, when you say enter a company and you gain enough experience, the coding part will come naturally to you. So the software engineers of any major company, they are smart enough to implement any feature. So it doesn't really matter if you put your code out in the open, because it's not that the others can't code the same feature. So these were the three basic reasons why it's not such a big deal. So let's move on. So why should you, as a college student, pursue open source? Atisha, the last slide only. Yeah, cool. So there are basically 3 points, the three most important points why I feel that as a college student, you should contribute to open source. So the first point is you gain the exposure of real world applications and coding. What I mean by that is right now, as you learn new frameworks and languages, you will build simple applications at best. So if you really want to get an idea of what level of coding is required in, say, applications like VLC Media Player, you can just open the GitHub repository of VLC Media Player and look over the code. That's the only way right now to just imagine what sort of code might go down there. The second point is collaboration. So once again, I'll just like to remind you guys, like right now you will build very simple applications. So even while building those simple applications, you will realize that even the most basic features, they might take hours or even days to implement. So do you think that these big softwares like Mozilla, Firefox, Thunderbird, and VLC Media Player, can they be programmed by a single person? It's impossible. It's really impossible. They can't do that. So actually, these projects are headed by entire teams. Uh, all the team members, they are assigned a specific part in that, and they all work simultaneously on the project. So the tools of open source, they make it easy for all the team members to work in collaboration.
I think I got disconnected.
We can move ahead, I guess.
We
We
can
can move
move
ahead.
ahead. When he will join, we will resume from there.
Hello,
Okay.
Atisha. Am I audible?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry, my
Yes, yes,
connection
yes,
got
yes.
lost. So where was I? Can you just
Okay.
remind me? I'll just
From the Y slide.
Y slide. So I think I was on the third point, version control, or
Yes,
the,
yes, yes.
okay, huh? So I'll just wrap up the collaboration bit. So yeah, you basically need to work in teams, and the tools of
1 minute,
open
1
source.
minute. Wait 1 minute.
Hmm, it's okay.
Oh, now we can start.
Yeah, cool. So I don't know when my connection got lost, but I was just speaking that you can't build major projects just by yourself. You need an entire team for that. And the tools of open source, they allow you to do those projects efficiently and work with your team members. So the third point was version control. So what is version control? I'll just give an example. of why you may need version control. Like, just remember your school days. Many a times you may have been given a project, like prepare a presentation for something. So you make the presentation and just save it in your folder, presentation.pdf. After that, you suddenly remember that you need to make some changes. So you save it like presentation final.pdf. After that, you again remember some more changes, presentation final. So this just keeps on going. So version control can come in handy in those situations. So version control, it basically allows you to see the exact things that you have added, removed, or changed in each version. Who did that and when did you do it? And the biggest thing about version control is you can backtrack. What I mean by that is you can go back to any previous version. Say, if your current version suddenly stops working, it keeps on crashing. So it means that something has gone awry. So you may just go back to the version of, say, a week or two before of your software and just figure out what changes led to this unexpected behavior. So this is also provided by open source. So yeah, if these 3 points were not enough, there's the fourth point. Atisha, go to the slide. Next slide, please. Basically, these were some competitions. Next slide, Atisha. Cool. So, there are a few competitions about open source for the college students. So I'll just take some of their names. There's the Season of Dogs, Season of KDE, Hacktoberfest. You may have heard about it. Julia Summer of Code, etc. So these competitions are there. They have a good amount of money involved, but by far the most prestigious and popular one is Google Summer of Code, GSOC. You may have heard about it. So basically, if you clear this competition, there's a prize money or say a stipend of about 1 lakh rupees, which is huge for a college student. So clearing GSOC is not easy. I'll not go over the details of what GSOC is, what is the procedure. You can find it out yourself or just later ping me. So clearing GSOC is certainly not easy, but it is rewarding. If I go over my personal story, so I also applied for GSOC in the previous year. So basically about 12 projects were to be selected out of 300 plus projects. When the final list came of selection, my project was on the 13th number. Can you imagine? I just missed the GSOC by a whisker, like literally one project. So yeah, it may happen, but just in the end, keep on trying. So GSOC is the biggest competition for open source. So I'll just speak about the story of how GSOC came into being. It may be interesting to you guys. So basically, when Google first started, it was a very small entity, not like the Google that is now. It's literally everywhere. But when it first started, it was also started as a very small entity, very small company. So basically, at that time, it didn't have the money or resources to employ a full workforce and staff to just build its products like the search engine and all. So it made all its services open source. It hoped that people will just visit its repositories and make contributions on it. So that actually happened, and Google kept on getting better. Then after that, it obviously gained a lot of money. After that, it removed its most of its products from open source. So now that Google has become such a big company, it really wants to give back to the open source world. So as we speak now, there are many 200 plus organizations in GSOC every year. Google wants to help them. Google also wants them to grow into big companies in the next 5 to 10 years. That's the reason and the motive behind Google conducting the Google Summer of Code every year. So yeah, that was a short story. So coming over to our performance, I'll just sum it up in a few lines. Say, to be honest, our campus's performance at competitions like GSOC and other open source competitions, it really has not been that good. If I'd be honest. So less than 5 people have cleared GSOC from our campus in the last 3 to 4 years, as compared to, say, I think 50 plus people from other colleges like IIT Roorkee. So most of the students of our campus, even my year, they are just not interested in this exciting field. So I just hope that you will all explore the open source world and attempt competitions like say GSOC and just become an active member of the open source community. The change about open source in our campus has to start from your batch. After that, hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years, maybe we'll also become a very good open source community like these other colleges. So yeah, I'd like to wrap up our open source module. So all the best, guys. And regarding GSOC, hope you all bring pride to the campus. So let's move on to the next module. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be speaking for networks and security. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So for networks and security, I would say you really need to dive into the field and like then do things. Uh, next slide, please, Atisha. Yeah. So you need to make systems do things to learn and enjoy more of it. Most of you would have heard of the Swaggy Capture the Flag CTF competitions and various such mind-blowing cybersecurity hackathons. I mean, it's a very complicated field, so to know more on it, like you need to go through the terms and everything. Like some go crazy over getting to learn the ways to hack into like some FB account or say breaking the neighbor's Wi-Fi passcode. But that's really not everything. Next slide. Yeah, see, like the ethical hacking, like this is not the complete thing which we have in networks and security. In this, mostly you need to explore quite a lot on your own and find like what really interests you. Example, you like suppose web stuff or low-level CPUs, firmwares, or say cracking softwares, reversing things, or such or also like finding all the hidden stuff kind of forensics. Okay, so based on your interest, then you will have to choose any domain you would like to work on. For example, web hacking, reverse engineering, and exploit development, forensics, cryptography, etc. Like quite a lot of buzzwords. So I would like keep it short. Mostly in our club, to promote this culture, we used to have network security projects. Had a month-long ethical hacking course. We'll be sharing some resources with you people too, and planning to start some more of it for all the security enthusiasts. Like that is all of it, I would say, and then I would like give it to Anushka for the design module.
Hi, I'm Anushka from Design Department and I'm a part of design team of Coding Club. So next slide please. Who are we? We are a bunch of UI, UX and design enthusiasts who work with the technical team to create the front end and graphic of the user interfaces. We are a very close-knit subset of Coding Club who work under the guidance of Coding Club Design Head. Next slide please. What do we do? We do graphic design. We make posters and we design templates. We design user interface and user experience. Work with the developers to design the products and redesign existing websites and apps. Designing is one of the most important part of any application because whatever the user sees is design. How the user interacts with your application is also design. Next slide. So here you see are some memes. So UI and UX are the most misunderstood terms in design. So let me brief you about them. User experience or UX is a design process which the design teams use to create products that provide meaningful and relevant experience to the users. This involves design of the entire process of acquiring and integrating the product, including the aspects of branding, design, usability, and function. Whereas UI stands for user interface. The user interface is the graphic layout of an application. How the user sees your application is basically UI. It consists of all the buttons the users click on, the text they read, the font, the color, the images, sliders, and the rest of the items that the user interacts with. So you cannot learn to design a website or an app while being in your shell. You've got to interact with people. The key to master UI and UX is the understanding of what the technical aspects go into making of an app. Next slide. Um, you cannot really master UX in 10 weeks. Consistency is the ultimate key. What I really find fascinating is that Coding Club provides the perfect balance between the technical and design aspects. The exposure you get really helps you grow as a designer. And of course, this cannot be mastered, as I said, in a very few weeks. We work in teams, do surveys, and understand the technicalities, uh, conduct sessions with the coders, and conduct workshops. In my opinion, courses don't really help you with the field experience, but starting to work on projects with the coding club is definitely the very first step towards learning UI and UX. Um, Hoping to see you all in the team. Now, Varenya will take you through the rest of the presentation.
Okay, so I hope you guys now have a brief idea about club, what we do, how we do it, and we want you, and really we want you to be the part of it as soon as possible. And this is gonna be the last part of orientation, and I'm gonna tell you how the process of your recruitment is gonna be. Atisha, next slide. Still, some of you might not be having an idea why you should join the club, how it matters. So these are some points. Working in team, it creates better social interaction and your connectivity with like-minded people like the communist. So when you are surrounded by people thinking over the same problem in different way, you expand your horizon and thinking capabilities with exploring new technology and better ways every now and then. And surely, if you ever stumble upon a problem, there will be your teammate, your batchmates having the same problems, and some might even have solved it. And even if they don't, there are us, the second yearites, to help you out. And even if we don't get it, there are problems even which we can solve. Then we will learn together. That's the part of being in the club. Next slide, Aditya. Now, this is one of the important aspect to cover. What are the prerequisites you need to join the club? So, some of which are written here. You can go over them. Next slide, Atisha. It was just a prank. Just kidding. Don't be disheartened. There isn't any such prerequisite we expect from you. It's gonna be a long journey, and we'll learn together. Even if you don't have any previous programming knowledge right now, we'll get to that. Next slide, Aditya. But there are certain things we expect from all you all. The first thing to be you need to be consistent and dedicated to learn and work hard with very less procrastinating. Obviously, you're gonna be a big procrastinator when you get to college, but keep it a little down. And surely you'll need a laptop. Even a decent one works. Don't go after the trends that you will need a max specs laptop to work in coding club or do development and such. Then even a decent one works fine. Next slide. Now I'll give you an overview of the joining procedure. In about 2 to 3 days, we'll be sharing a post or mail maybe with several Discord channel links for every module we have covered in the orientation, and you can join them based upon your interest. We coordinators will be there to guide you and share resources on a regular basis. So there you can learn, and if time permits, according to the hecticness of your semester and hours, we can even conduct a small project which will help you in CV and also in the. Then there will be an interview round. There we'll be asking you some questions based on the module you have covered during the Discord channel discussions, and we have thought of some ways to shortlist you guys from the Discord channel itself. You just need to be consistent in the group, and cover the deadlines and the task we provide you. Then after the interviews, welcome to the club and keep coding. And now that is the last part. And now moving on to the last question. Uh, it will be posted on Instagram story, so you can go over it. We'll give you 5 minutes.
Gitanjit, can you explain it?
Yeah. Yeah. So am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the final question. I will suggest to pick up pen and paper as well for this question. This will need some solving. So Jack and Sam unsuspectingly went to an underground lab of a mad scientist who loved terrorizing intruders with puzzles. Once they reach his lab, a wall drops down between them, and all access to the outside world are shut. That means that they are trapped in separate rooms. So, and two different screens appear in front of them separately, and the scientist appears in front of them in that screen and says, trespassers, you can only escape if you solve a puzzle of mine. To one of you, I'll tell the number sequence. Like he will tell a sequence which the other needs to type. Like it must be present in a sequence of numbers which the typing person will be, the person who is going to type has to follow. Like the rules are while typing, you have to start with 0. You can only perform operations +5, +7, or the square root of the number itself. Like you will write the next number according to the previous number, by adding 5, adding 7, or taking the square root. Also, if you cross 60, the room will blow up, you will die, of course. And the same number, if you type the same number twice, or if you like try typing a non-integral number, which might happen, take square root of a non-perfect square, so it will blow up. So you have to type these three numbers, 2, 10, and 14, which the person who got the sequence had. So help Jack to type a sequence of numbers. I won't be I'm not asking you guys to write the whole sequence, just the number of numbers which you will be typing, except definitely the first 0. Like if the sequence you typed was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then your answer will be 5, not 6. Uh, Please approach this by writing it down as well. Also think stepwise. First think about creating the first number. Please keep in mind that 0 is not to be counted in that sequence.
Since no one has answered correct answer yet, we'll be giving 2 more minutes, so you guys can try.
We have been getting correct answer till now. So I'll give a hint. Know that you first need to type 2, which can only be reached via a square root operation. So you somehow need to reach 4. That means you also need to reach 16. Think how will you reach 16 from 0? You first need to reach 16. So you can use the plus 5 plus 7 operations as you want and need to reach 16. And keep in mind that you cannot repeat the numbers, so choose your numbers wisely.
Okay, so we have got the correct answer, and it is which one of you have the Insta profile as K artistic?
Can I move to the solution?
Yeah.
No, just wait.
Okay.
Okay.
It is someone from the design department. K artistic. Okay, I'll just ask his name. Yes, you can show the answer.
Okay, so the answer was 23. This is definitely not intuitive. You have to solve it. Uh, so, what should your thought process be? As I said about the hint, you have to first reach 16. So, how will you even reach 16? It is like you can only add plus 5, plus 7, and all. You have to reach 16 through plus 5 or plus 7 operations. How can you reach 16 from a plus 5 operation? You can use 11. Before that, you can use 6. And 6 you can get from 36. Why I haven't used 7 here is because I will be needing it later to create 14. You have to, like, it was a really difficult thing to do, like, I agree, but like it was the last question, so it had to be difficult. So after that, I hope that the person who got the answer didn't just get a guess correct. So like, okay, so I have like explained the rest of it. Like once you do, it is pretty simple after that, because you will just have to now get till 10, which is very easy because 3 plus 7 is 10, and of course 9 square root is 3. After that, you have to reach 14. For that, you need to reach 7. For that, you need to reach 49, which was like pretty straightforward. So that's it. Congrats for whoever solved it, given if he or she has done it like properly, not just a guess.
Okay, so I'll be telling the names of the winners. The first question was solved by Vedant Shah. The second question by Gautam Jyotilal. And the third question by Kartik Rao. So we'll contact you by mail. And that's it for the orientation. I hope Ritvik Ganguly, our secretary, has something to say.
So my name is Atisha and I will show you the last year photographs of the orientation of the coding club to see how the our lecture hall was jam packed. We were literally sitting on the floors. Okay, I will show the okay 1 minute. So it was a full house and we were sitting on the floors and it was a lot of fun offline, but hopefully next year we will do offline. for the next batch. Ritik Bhaiya, can
It's okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the orientation. Right now, we'll be having a short Q&A session. So if you have any genuine questions, please type it on the YouTube chat right now, and we'll answer them to the best of our abilities.
the link for the Discord will be shared on the social media handle very soon.
Yes. Uh, So, since this is just an orientation, it's difficult to delve deep into the specific fields. Uh, so, what we have planned, what they have planned actually is create Discord channels for you guys. So, whenever you guys are free, like first year, specifically, first year is for exploring. Like right now, you have, I am not saying you have free time, but the time which you have right now you won't be having later on for exploring fields. Like in second year and towards the end of second year you have to become focused in your preparation for internships. So right now for the in the end of first year, like whatever time you have between the assignments and between quizzes and stuff, explore all the modules. First of all, explore all the modules, and then towards the end of first year, or maybe at the end of third semester, you will have a pretty good idea about which field you will be uh, you'll find yourself most comfortable with. So that's the thing. One question is, how can complete beginners join? You don't have to worry about that. We expect that everybody is a beginner right from the start, and the Discord servers will have resources and everything for everyone. Like it's not specific towards people who have very advanced knowledge about it, or something like that. We'll share resources, we'll have fun, try to have fun, as much fun as we can have in an offline semester, online semester like this. So all the kinds of resources which we'll be sharing, all the evaluations which we'll be doing will be catered towards freshers. But yes, it's not like that you are complete beginners, that's why we'll continue to spoon feed you. We'll expect some sort of dedication from your side as well. Like if we are giving you some tasks or something, we expect that you complete them within time. um,
One more question
how
was
much
which language to start. So start with C and C++ basic,
yeah
then move
so
on to something.
in the first year, the main thing which you should know is the concepts. First of all, like if else, switch case, loops, functions, and all those stuff. And then for learning those stuff and for practicing, you should use C. I guess for the basic start, you should start with C++, and then in second year you should move on to Python or C++ and fix it on one language itself. But in first year, I think the first thing you should do is learn the concepts properly. uh, Okay, anybody, any more question? So like for the first year students, that is what we are expecting. You join the Discord servers and then participate regularly. We'll give material and will not put too much pressure on you guys. Understand, we understand the uh, pressure of an online sem for you, also a shortened online sem on top of that. So I request you to participate in that. And as Varenya mentioned, at the end of the first year, like when the team recruitment comes, we don't recruit people from first year when they go to second year. Like at the end of first year, we'll hold a recruitment, and you guys have to give some sort of test or interview. We have not planned right now, the on the basis of what we have learned through the Discord servers, and then you'll be joining our club from the second year onwards.
There was this question that I'd like to answer. Like some freshers are confused about how many languages do we need. So actually, right now you may be intimidated by these heavy terms like C, C++, Java, etc. But trust me, once you gain enough hold of some basic languages like C++, Java, C, after that you will really pick up the other languages very fast. Like I'll just give you my example. I knew about I think Java and C++ some months ago. Then I wanted to learn Python. So it really just took me a couple of hours or at most 1 or 2 days to go over the basics of Python. So yeah, don't be intimidated by these languages. Most of them are very similar. They just have a few differences in syntaxes and some features at most. So yeah.
Any other question or answer, we'll be happy to answer on our Instagram page or FB page, or you can also contact the people who have taken your orientations today, like Arpita, Atishay, Anmol, Varanya, Gitanjit, and Swapnil, Anushka. You can contact them anytime, and we hope to see you guys in campus and in our teams pretty soon. Till then, I guess that's a wrap. Thank you for attending. Any more questions? We are happy to answer on our Facebook and Instagram page whenever we are free to do so. Guys, that's a wrap.
Atisha is gone. He is streaming.
Okay, till then we can like answer some of the questions then. One of the guys is asking, how do you manage clubs with academics simultaneously? It's actually up to the specific person. Like clubs are not meant to provide pressure on you. They are meant to provide extra knowledge to you atop what we are learning on like through the courses. So don't take it as like clubs and lectures are means different things but similar pressure stuff, not like that. Take it as something you want to do and something for fun, and then you will find that it's not difficult to manage clubs with academics. Like clubs don't have some sort of deadline or for assignments and stuff, but we just expect, because we are providing our time, like we are also busy, very busy with internships, placements and everything, and our assignments as well. We just expect you guys to provide some sort of effort from your side, so that you the effects are noted in your side as well. Like we find some sort of feedback that you are benefiting from your association with our club. That is it.
Okay, sure. Atisha is back. We can wrap.
Okay, guys. So we can wrap. Uh, Thank you for attending, everyone. We'll publish the PPT and the links for the Discord servers very soon as we compile the stuff. And the prizes for the 3 winners, we'll also contact them individually to provide them the prizes. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Atisha, you can close the stream now.